Welcome to my channel, The Three Mountains. My name is White Eagle. I would like you to address me like that, with that name. Today I'm going to try to explain to you the process of coming out of the second mountain and entering the third mountain in the astral, and what happens in the physical. It is not easy. This video is really complicated and I find it difficult myself to explain, but I'll do my best, and you can ask questions and I'll try to answer. But I think that it is important for you to know this truth, and because if one of you arrives here, you will know what to do. Now let's get us started. As you can see in this first picture, you have the three mountains. The first mountain, the second mountain, where you have a big cross because it relates to the crucifixion. So if you want to know more about the second mountain, you can take a look at the life of Master Jesus and how he ended on the cross. So it was very painful. The ending of the second mountain is very painful, because you have to go through the crucifixion, as I said. But Master Samael describes this mountain also with the labors or the works of Hercules. You can see there. This second mountain involves achieving, finishing the 9 works of Hercules. Now, what I have drawn here is Master Samael at the front, and I put here 1970s, when he arrived at the end of the second mountain. And in 2018 we have here one of his disciples who also is in the second mountain. Now I'm going to draw a comparison between the two masters, and then you will see and decide about your own life, if you ever happen to arrive here at the same spot where they are or where they were. Now, what I will tell you is that I did this now, a comparison of what happened between Master Samael and what Master Samael did and what his disciple, I don't want to give his name because, as I said, this is a teaching, and I just want you to keep the teaching, not the people involved. So Master Samael finished the first mountain and started the second mountain in the 1970s. I'm not sure. He was at the end of the second mountain. He got stuck in the second mountain at the end. His disciple, and we are talking about somebody who is still alive now, happened to do the same. So he's a master because he finished the first mountain, but he is stuck in the second mountain, the same situation. What is the problem? In the case of Master Samael, his wife would not do alchemy with him anymore. And in the case of his disciple, is the same problem. His wife can't or won't do alchemy. Now, Master Samael had millions of followers at that time, and he was the leader of the Gnostic movement. He was the president. Nowadays, this person, this disciple, who is also a master because he finished the first mountain, is also a leader of a Gnostic movement, and he's being followed by maybe millions of people, I'm not sure. Now, solution. What Master Samael did. Master Samael knew that he had to take a new spouse to practice alchemy, or to remain stuck with his wife little antes and not move on to the third mountain. What happens here? His disciple, who is in the same situation, does not dare to take another woman in the physical, although he has seen the example of Master Samael that he left. So Master Samael decided to go ahead and take a new spouse. So God showed him somebody. As I said to you in my previous video, if you follow your intuition, God will be showing you what to do, and you have to obey. So in the case of Master Samael, he decided to obey and followed what God showed him. In the case of this master, who is now here, alive at this moment, stuck in the second mountain, he does not dare to leave his wife behind or to take another woman in order to complete the work. So, although he knew when he was young that Master Samael told him that he was stuck and that he needed to take somebody new in order to complete the work of the second mountain, he still does not dare to do the same thing, to follow the example that Master Samael left. Anyways, now what happens? Just a moment, I'm going to bring you another picture. Of course, there is something called cosmic law. This is Anubis. I met him in the astral. He is real, I can tell you that. And he sets the law. He is like, suppose you are being taken to court, and he is the one who sets the law and decides upon the law of what will happen to you. So he has the head of a jackal, and anyways, the point is that he in the astral is the one that applies the law, applies justice. Anyways, in the case of Master Samael, this cosmic law decided to grant him a scroll. They gave him a scroll for completing the work of the second mountain. So in the end, he achieved, the 9th work of Hercules. So he finished the second mountain, and he was given the scroll, and he was congratulated for having finished the second mountain. Now, after that, he passed away. Master Samael passed away, and I know, according to his, the records tell or say that he will come back to finish the other 3 works that he needs to complete for the 3rd mountain. Anyways, I'm not going to speak about that. Now, what happens with his disciple, the one that is also stuck in the second mountain, but will not dare to continue? Now, in my last video, I showed you this picture, and I told you that there is a wheel of return, of eternal return. And I did go and investigate it into the astral world, and I asked about what will happen to this disciple, master, who is stuck and he will not dare continue with the path. And the answer was that he will have to return. So he's now old, he will pass away, and in his next life he will have to come back here, that is to return, like a normal person, and do the path all over again, meet his wife, marry her, and again arrive to the exact point where he did not dare, or where he will have to face the same test once again. Will he continue and move on to the 3rd mountain, or will he stay with her and not dare to leave her again? Now, I'm going to bring you this now, and now we're going to speak about physical consequences that happened in the physical world to Master Samael. As I said to you, the second mountain is the mountain of the crucifixion, so there is pain. And I did tell you that, like Jesus, you get crucified, and there is a lot of pain in the physical world. So what happened to Master Samael? So Master Samael's wife, his wife, Arnolda Garro, made the scandal. So she proclaimed that Master Samael had committed adultery. According to cosmic law, I tell you now that you cannot commit adultery unless you are actively you are inside a relationship, I mean sexually. But Master Samael and his wife had not been sleeping together for some time, and they were even they didn't even share the same bedroom. They had separate bedrooms. So this claim that he committed adultery is false. Now, the second thing, she also proclaimed that the master had fallen, because by committing adultery, probably he fell. And this is not true. Again, Master Samael was shown a woman, and this woman helped him raise energy, and with that he managed to open the last chakra that he needed for the second mountain, the chakra of Philadelphia, and to finish the second mountain. That's why she's called the Angel of Philadelphia. So for helping Master Samael, she is remembered as the Angel of Philadelphia. Another thing I want to point out that I haven't written here is that in the astral, Master Samael showed me in his bedroom that he left cassettes recordings, because in those times there were cassettes, that he officially was separating and leaving or divorcing his wife Arnolda Garro, or Master Little Antes. And that why, at that time I didn't know why he was showing me that. But now I understand, as I said to you. Going back to this picture, when you come here on earth, it's because you have unfinished business with some spouses or one spouse from the past. So Master Samael, by leaving those recordings, and cassette recordings, he was showing me that he had finished with her, and that he had no more bonds or attachments with her whatsoever according to the law. Yeah? Now, what about the other master, the disciple, who is still alive? He will have to return. In the next life, he will have to do the path all over again and reach the same point in time where he will have one more chance to decide to ascend, so to move on and go on and leave her behind, or to stay with her. And I say involute. Why? Because whenever we are given the chance to ascend the path, it's just because we are running out of lives, basically. We don't start the path, with lots of lives ahead of us. Remember that we are only given 108 lives in human shape. So it is up to the law, the cosmic law, to decide. Of course, they are going to give him, because I did ask in the astral what will happen to him. And they said that he will have to return and do the path all over again, pass all the tests again, all the sufferings again, and to reach exactly the same spot in time where he will be thrown the same test again. He will have to face the same test again. So this is my main teaching for you. We are here in this life to correct our past mistakes and try not to commit them again. So if you happen to arrive in time to the second mountain, you will be facing this same situation. Why? Because no one can pass on to the third mountain accompanied in a marriage. Yes. Here, this is the crucifixion, is the end, where the person leaves behind his spouse or her spouse and moves on to the third mountain on his own. So I let you know, and this is the main teaching for you about the path. We don't liberate ourselves together. We arrive to the third mountain and to the Buddhic plane on our own. So up to here, I hope you have understood. As I said to you, you have the examples of two masters, Master Samael, who did dare to move on and obey God, obeyed his intuition, and he did finish, and he was given by cosmic law the scroll saying you have completed the second mountain, and the example of his disciple who has not finished the second mountain, and he keeps it secret. So I'm not here to judge anybody. This is something that I have to show you because you will arrive here in time at the same spot, and you will have to make your choice of what to do. If you ask me, what have I done? Well, I tell you, I followed Master Samael's example. See you in my next video, and if you want to leave some questions, you can ask. Thank you for watching.